Hi everybody, this is Jerry Watkins and we're going to talk about the pitch. The first thing you need to remember about the pitch is you have to have energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. Now, that doesn't mean you have to talk like me. That doesn't mean you have to talk like that guy in the office that's yelling at the top of his lungs, "Hi, I'm calling with," and da 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 da. You don't have to sound like that. Best way to get down energy, excitement, and enthusiasm is to believe and love your product. That's what everybody says, right? And that's true. I mean, the more you believe in your product, the more you're going to express belief, the more interested you are in the product, the more interesting it's going to be, and the more interested others are going to be. But really what I find the best way to really get that energy, excitement, and enthusiasm down is to think about your own life. You know, think about something that you're passionate about, something that you love, and really think on it. Think about what's the biggest achievement you ever had done? What you played basketball? What was that big game in high school you played? You know, remember whatever the instance is. If it's a basketball game, remember the crowd. Remember the lighting. Remember all of that, and tell the story to somebody. When you start telling that story, if you really go into detail about it, that's going to be your voice. That's going to be your energy, that's going to be your excitement, and that's going to be your enthusiasm. If you can find a way, which I just told you how, to transfer that over to your product, you're going to make a lot of money. That's how you get energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. Think about that thing you're passionate about, that thing that you love, and then practice with that voice on your pitch. Say your pitch, say your pitch, say your pitch. Think about that thing you love. Say that thing you love. Talk about it. Explain the story again. Go into detail, even if you're just talking to yourself in the mirror. And then say your pitch right after. It'll transfer. You may have to practice a few times, but it's going to come across. But energy, excitement, and enthusiasm is definitely key for you to remember. Asking yes or no questions. Geez, I think the number one issue I see with good marketers and salespeople, mainly marketers on the phones and at the doors, I talk to them, they know their scripts, they know their rebuttals, they know the product, they know the ins and outs of it, they're excited, they're on point, except for one major key thing that chops them off at the beginning. And that's asking yes or no questions. Never ask a yes or no question unless you are prepared to deal with a no. That's my general rule of thumb. It doesn't mean you can't ask yes or no questions. It means don't ask yes or no questions unless you're ready to get a no. Because if I ask a yes or no question and you say no to me, I can't really be upset. Those are the two options I gave you. A yes or no question is an either or question. Yes or no questions. It's pretty simple. Things like, are you having a good day today? Is a yes or no question, right? Another one is, are you looking to buy my product or service? Even if the answer is yes, they may tell you no. And if they do, you're going to have a hard time digging yourself out of that hole, right? But if I ask you, let's say if I'm selling windows, and I say, hey, are you interested in getting the new vinyl white windows, or are you looking for something with a wood look? They can still tell me that they don't need my product or service. They can still say, hey, I already got windows. I don't need windows. They can still say those things. But to say no to that question seems a little strange. If I said, hey, I'm selling these cars here. Would you like this brand new Bentley in black or silver? And you said no. It would be foolish. It's not natural. It's not likely to come out. It's not how conversation works. You could say, whoa, buddy, a Bentley, are you out of your mind? I'm not looking at purchasing that. I can't purchase that. I want to get a house one day. I want to eat. I like to have dinner. It's important to me. Or maybe you're looking at a different type of car. Who knows? The point is, if you ask an either-or question, you're giving them two options that you would prefer that they answer, but they still have that option to bring up the third answer. And it may be something that you don't want to hear, but it gives you that extra information that you need to be able to continue the conversation. Whereas no gives you absolutely no information at all other than pure negative. So stay away from yes or no questions. They're going to lead you in a lot of trouble unless you're ready. Maybe you want to hear them say no. Or really, maybe you're ready for them to say yes, and you want to present that no to them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where you're at, but it's doubtful in the intro or the pitch. You're ready to do a yes or no question, and unless you're just trying to pre-qualify your leads. And if you are, good for you. You know, I wish you the best of luck. I prefer to stay away from that angle. I like to take them through the amount of time it's going to take. I don't think making a few extra calls throughout the course of the day is really going to make me that much more money than it would be handling the call that I have and exhausting those resources first. Don't take too much into that. I don't mean staying on the phone with them for 2 days, but 2 minutes is definitely acceptable. Controlling the phone call is important as well. Just like you don't want to ask yes or no questions unless you're prepared to deal with a no, controlling the phone call you do by asking questions. If I were to ask you, where are you from? You would answer the question. And I said, how do you like it there? You would answer the question. And I said, well, you know, do you like the weather when it's hot or do you like it's cold? You know, you're going to answer the question that way. And then I say, well, you know, if you like hot weather, do you like going to the beach or would you prefer to be in a lake? I'm leading the conversation in the direction that I want it to go in. Now, you can answer any of those questions. You could say, well, I like the lake because, and then you can continue and continue and continue and continue. And when you get done speaking, I can then ask you another question. By asking questions, you control the conversation. You always say, he who asks the questions wins. I'm going to have to say that's probably the truth. And since I'm looking for a win-win scenario, that means I need my customers to ask me questions as well. That's when they've engaged me in the conversation. But for me to be able to get a sale, I really have to control the conversation. I have to lead them in the right direction. And I have to do that by asking them the right questions. And a yes or no question at that time in the conversation is typically not the right question, because that's going to lead to them leaving. Best example I can give you is the one I always use. It's called leading the blind through the maze. You are offering a product or service, and you're hoping that the customer is going to at least entertain the thought, and definitely, hopefully, purchase that product or service as well. But they don't know your business model. A lot of salespeople and marketers, they expect the customer to know the process. And if that was the case, I think that they would just make the purchase and you wouldn't need to be there. They wouldn't need that sales or marketing person. That's retail. We're not talking about retail. We're talking about something where we're presenting an unknown. You know, I could be talking about windows once again. I could be talking about the sliding glass door right there, and I could be presenting this to a potential customer. It's pretty easy. They know if it's a sliding glass door or it's not. They know if they need one or they don't. But I'm not asking these questions. I'm saying things like, hey, Joe Schmo, I'm with supercalifragilistic windows and sliding glass doors, and I'd like you to take a look at this sliding glass door, see this nice handle and this, that, and the other thing, and I'm going on my pitch and I'm going in, and at some point in time, I'm going to have to let them talk. And if you think that you're going to present this beautiful package and then say, would you like to buy it? You're only getting 1 or 2 answers. And the majority of those answers are going to be no. Even if the person wants to buy it, a lot of times they're going to tell you no. So I have to be a little bit more creative. I have to control the conversation. I have to lead the blind person through the maze. Now let's think about this. How many products do I have? Do I only have sliding glass doors? Do I have other products? And then even if I only have one product, how many different styles and colors and shapes and measurements does it come in? They don't know the answers to these questions unless I ask these questions. They don't know what to ask me. Even if they are interested, they don't know how to get through the maze. So it's kind of like if you took somebody and you want to get them through the maze. If you get in the maze, if you can get this person that's blindfolded through this maze, you're going to get a bunch of money. That's a sale, right? They're going to get a bunch of money. Or they're going to get a product. They're going to get what's behind door number 2. And they want what's behind door number 2. But they're relying on you to lead them through the maze. Now they come in to the maze. When they walk in, they're blindfolded. They can't say anything. And a lot of sales and marketers, they're going to say, which way do you want to go, Jim? And the customer is going to go, oh, go straight. And they're going to hit this table. That's going to hurt. You ever hit your shins on a table? That hurts. What are you going to do if they hit their shins on a table? Hey, what are you doing? They need you to grab them by the hand and say, hey, there's a table in front of us. Do you want to walk around the right of it? Or do you want to walk around the left? And as you get a little bit further, you're going to ask them, do you want to make a right-hand turn? Or do you want to make a left-hand turn? Because if you don't ask them these questions, they don't know the options. They've never been through the maze before. And if they're blindfolded, they're just going to walk into a wall, hit their legs on a table, and which direction are they going to go? If I start in the maze and I'm blindfolded, and you say, which way do you want to go? And I hit my legs, I go, hey, what are you doing? You say, which way do you want to go? Oh, I wanted to go straight. Oh, and I hit my legs again. You say, well, you can't go straight. Okay, I want to go left. And I hit a couch. What are they going to do? There's only one direction they know if they're blindfolded. And that's out the way they came. That's the equivalent of walking out of your sales floor, shutting the door in your face if you're canvassing, or hanging up the phone on you if you're telemarketing. Don't lead the blind into a wall. Your job is to ask them which direction they want to go. You know, little questions, simple as, you know, are you looking for something that slides side to side? Or do you want something that opens out? Or do you want something that opens in? Asking these questions is going to get the customer to give you the answers you need so that you can move forward in the conversation. The next part of the pitch is really the rapport and discovery phase. Because I don't care what anybody tells you, unless you're doing one of those little Visa credit card scripts on the phone where you have to read the script verbatim and they're recording your conversation. You go into any room, you go into any sales floor, and you find the top guy. And you see, is he following the script? Now, don't take this the wrong way. They probably are to an extent. But the real thing isn't the words you're saying, it's why you're saying what you're saying and when you're saying it. And they're going to know those things. But what they also know, just like you've learned, if you've been on the phone for any amount of time, 2 phone calls, you're going to learn it. 2 months, you're going to know it. 2 years, it's a no-brainer. Is that in the pitch, they're going to interrupt you. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they'll begin their pitch, they do their introduction, they bring out the sizzle, and like, I got these right here, and I'm going to sell them to you today. And the customer says, one of 4 things, right? What are the major objections you get? And we'll go over in a later video the difference between objections, conditions, statements, and buying questions, and all those things. But right now I'm going to talk about objections. So you have to learn how, if you don't know what they are. Hopefully you'll learn later. Objections have to consist of a reason why. So I begin my pitch, and then they give me a reason why. There's 4 major reason whys, right? They break them up into different categories, but in different things that they can say, but it's all coming out to the same thing. I don't have the money, right? I can't afford it, it's too much money. Money. You can say it a million different ways, it comes down to money. Now, if you're in sales, you want it to come down to that, but you want it to come down to that when you're ready for it to come down to that. If they're hitting with you, hitting at the beginning, it's probably not really the money. And the other one is need. They don't need it, they don't see the need for it, they don't think your product's what they need, they don't even think they need this product. Why would they need this product? It's need. I don't need it, I'm not looking for it. A lot of people mistake that with interest, but interest has to be developed. Unless you're just looking for laydowns. And if you are, good luck to you. I probably shouldn't be watching these. You know, you don't need to do anything but wait for the yes. Ask yes or no questions all day long. You'll make lots of money. I'm joking. Please don't do that. The other one is time. You called it a bad time. I don't have enough time for your call. I don't have enough time for this appointment. I don't have enough time to go through this sale. I don't have the time to use a product. That's really need, but time. Right? That's the third one. And then buying committee. I got to talk to my wife, my business partner. I got to talk to my kids. I got to talk to my parents. I got to talk to somebody else. Somebody else thinks that I shouldn't do this. There's another person involved. You want the purchaser, right? Right here. Once they split into 2, you got to solve that. That's an objection. It's a reason why it's an obstacle. Obstacles can be overcome. As long as you know what it is you're overcoming, you'll know how to overcome it. So, in the initial part of the script, you're likely to get, in the introduction, the last video I made, statements. You haven't gotten anywhere. They're just making statements at that point. And then once you get into the pitch, now you're getting objections. Now you're getting reasons why they do not need your product or service, or are not ready to do your product or service at this moment. With an objection that has a reason why, you can overcome the obstacle, right? But sometimes you can't overcome it because it's not a real objection. You're asking a girl on a date at the bar, and she says, I can't go out with you Thursday, I gotta wash my hair. Is she washing her hair Thursday? Hopefully. Is she going to wash her hair over going out with you? Yeah, that's what she's telling you. But what you're really being told at that moment is that she's taken two things, going out on a date with you and washing her hair, and she's put them on a scale of sorts. And the washing the hair, it held a lot more value to her than going out on a date with you. Or you hold less value than that. However you want to look at it. The point is that when the objection comes up, we know it's going to be one of four major things: time, buying committee, need, or money. And we know that to overcome these four objections, we have to build value of our product or service. These things have to be done on every sale that you make. You may not realize that it's being done, but it's happening on every single one. If the customer's doing all the work, then you're getting lucky. You should be paying attention to these four things, to the four corners of the table, and you should be putting the legs on, helping the customer purchase. That's our job, is to help them follow the maze to get to the end and collect the prize. And in doing so, you get the prize as well. So, to be able to find out how to raise the value, you can't just raise the value by shouting out facts and figures. I mean, you can try that all day long, but those facts and figures are going to be interpreted different by different people. You have to be able to tap into your customer and find out what is it that's valuable to them. You do that by asking questions. It all comes back to asking questions. So, once again, you're in the script, you're reading the pitch, you're pitching the product, and the customer throws you a curveball and takes you off of the script. Some companies tell you, just read this rebuttal right here. Just no matter what they say, read this. If it falls underneath this category, read this. And you can do that. You can make great money. But great marketers and great salesmen, they're not doing that. They're listening. They're listening to the customer and they're saying, what is it? What is this reason why? Is it time? Is it buying committee? Is it need? Or is it money? And then they're handling it accordingly. And when they go to push a little bit, they're able to assess the value the customer has for the pitch, for the product, for the company, for the service. Now, if they don't have much value for it, I can give you money rebuttals all day long. And I'm not going to get as far as I would if I just stopped, took a step back, asked the customer some questions. It's called discovery. Asking them questions about the product or service. Find out where they are. What do they have value in? And then I can raise that value. An easy way to do it is by asking them about their last project or their last purchase. Let's say it's sliding glass doors. I'm talking to the customer and I want to sell them a sliding glass door. I need to talk to them about something similar. So I say, they say, oh, I don't need to get a sliding glass door. Well, yeah, the best example, but let's go with it anyways. I don't need to get a sliding glass door. Oh, okay, I hear you. You probably got, what right now? Are they the aluminum or are they the wood frame sliding glass doors? Oh, they're aluminum, but they're holding up pretty good. Customers being very resistant. They don't have value. They're trying to push you away. They're trying to run out of the maze. They've been through this maze with other people. They just walk them into walls. They think you're going to be another one of those people that's just going to, oh, come on, I want your money. Walk into this wall real quick. We'll eventually find a way. Well, you're not going to be that person. You're going to slow down. Oh, aluminum frame. Wow, great, great. And they probably slide side to side from left to right. Oh, yeah, they slide right from the right-hand side to the left. Wow, yeah, pretty big sliding glass door, 8 feet. Wow, yeah, That must be pretty heavy, right? Kind of hard to push it. You know, you sound like you're 110. I don't say that. But it's probably pretty hard to, you know, open and close a sliding glass door. I know it's going to be hard to open and close a sliding glass door because it's an aluminum frame sliding glass door. And about 80 to 85% of the time, an aluminum frame sliding glass door, they're old, they're original, they're hard to open and close. I know this because this is a product that I've sold. So since it's a product that I've sold, I know about my product. You need to learn about your product if you hope to use the same techniques as this. So once I get them to say it, they go, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's a little tough, but I can do it. I can do it, right? If they give me enough ammo at that moment, I'm going to continue with it. I'm going to continue talking to them about the sliding glass door and how mine, they may not be ready for them now, but when they are down the road, boy, do they just glide. I can close it with the touch of a finger. Isn't that fantastic? I know you're not looking at getting the sliding glass door right now because you told me, but when you are ready, make sure the door you get, man, make sure you can open and close it real easy because you already know what it's like to have a door that's, you know, just really takes a lot of, you know, elbow grease to push open and push close. You don't want to have to deal with that again. Just my own opinion. I mean, the last project you did for your home, what was it? So you're getting into them a little bit, right? You're talking to them about something that they have value in because you did a little bit of fishing. Once you found it, now, you know they're going to bring up that resistance. If you didn't build enough value at that part, which you probably didn't, because they're going to have a lot of resistance. Your value is really low, and their resistance, it's really high. They want to get you off the phone. They don't want to spend their hard-earned money. They don't want to come out of their pockets with the money for this sliding glass door. They can get a couple more years out of theirs. So I talk to them. They tell me they got problems opening and closing it. I take a mental note. I take a little stab at it. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to have one that opens and closes real easy? Get a little information from there. And if I don't get them full on board at that point, I'm going to take them back in time a little bit. Remember the last project you did on their home? They're going to tell me, oh yeah, it's, I got the roof done. I don't need any of that, man. Got the roof. It was great. Got the roof. Wow. You know, roofs are tricky. You got to get up there. I'm going to start saying things. Now, you would think, a lot of people think that they want to agree with the client all the time. At this point, I'm not looking to agree with the client. I'm looking for him to oppose me. He's been opposing me. He's been resistant, right? He wants to do that. He's a little argumentative, not too much, right? So I'm going to talk to them a little bit about the roof, and I'm going to try and say something that doesn't make me feel, you know, doesn't make them think that I have no clue about what I'm talking about, but I want them to think that I have a difference of opinion. I'm not just trying to pander to whatever they want. I want a little bit of a difference of opinion. You know those roofs with the metal roofs? I don't like those. They're strange. I'm hoping that the customer says something like, oh, I don't have one of those on my roof, but those are good roofs. I'm like, oh, wow, why are they good roofs? Why do you like them? Let me learn something today. Let me allow the client to teach me something today. Whether he really is or not, let me give him that opportunity to do that with me. That's going to tell me a couple of things. When he is explaining why these metal roofs are important and why they're valuable, he's going to tell me what types of features and benefits are really valuable to him. Even though I'm not selling roofs, he's going to say things like they're sturdy. If he says that he likes metal roofs because they're sturdy, guess what else he likes? He likes sturdy sliding glass doors. He likes sturdy couches. It's not going to work in every example, but it's going to work in the majority. And I do what works most of the time on most of the people so that I can make most of the money. And so I'm going to ask them these questions to find out this information, to gain this ammo, right? I'm going to put it in my back pocket. I'm going to take a little mental note. I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper while I'm talking to them so that when we come back around in the conversation to revisiting the conversation about the sliding glass doors, which is what my intent is to do, is to sell the sliding glass door, and I say, you know, Mr. Jones, Jim, I'm going back into my pitch now. So I had to get away from my pitch. I had to ask questions. but the conversation went the direction I wanted it to go because I controlled the conversation by asking the right questions, and I didn't ask yes or no questions, so it didn't end the conversation. I didn't make them walk into a wall. Now I lead the conversation right back into it. You know, just like the roof, you know, that's one of those things you got to get done. I know your sliding glass door can wait a little while. You told me yourself, you know, but if I showed you how we could come out there and give you some information on that, and it would make you better equipped so that when you were ready to make a purchase on a sliding glass door, do you think there was a chance you would do business with me in the future? A little trial close, something along that lines. You could say a million different things. It's going to depend on the conversation. All these conversations are going to be different. All these customers are going to be different. But there are going to be a few things that are almost always going to work. And now, when I go back into talking about the sliding glass door, and he says, you know, I don't think I really need to get it done right now. It's going to be a lot easier for me to raise the value of the need by stating something like, you know, Mr. Jones, Jim, just like you said before, or as I'm sure you know, it's important to have a sturdy product so that when you make a purchase, you're done for a while. You get your money's worth. And it works the way you expect it to work. That's important to you, right? And I said don't ask yes or no questions, but that's not a yes or no question. That's a tie down. That's a question that I'm asking that's demanding a yes. And when I say that, if he says no, he's not just going to say no. He's going to say, no, the truth is I don't want to just come out of pocket with the money right now. The truth is I need to talk to my wife about it right now. The truth is I don't really have the time to have someone come out and show me a sliding glass door right now. He has to give me another objection. He has to give me a reason why. He has to give me information. So that's the goal of the pitch, to showcase your product or service, have them interrupt you with that objection. They're going to give it to you so that you can go into discovery, find out where their value is, and then you can talk to them, ask them more questions to raise that value. Collect that ammunition so that when you're ready to go back into it and talk to them a little bit more about it, or maybe even go for the close, when they give you the reason why not, you're able to come back to them with something that matters to them. An objection that now has a rebuttal process that is tailored to your customer, to their wants and their needs. Because that's what you're selling. Their wants and their needs, not yours. At the end of the maze, there's a prize for both of you. But if you focus in on your prize, they're not going to walk the maze with you. If you focus in on their prize, yours is still going to be there when you get there. I'm Jerry Watkins. I'll see you next time.